Like this. Flooded. Can't even cross the street.
New York just got hit with one of those storms that makes you stop and stare. Heavy rain came down fast, way faster than the drains could handle, and within a short window, parts of the state were dealing with serious flooding. Roads turned into rivers, cars got stuck, emergency crews were out working non-stop, and officials were telling people the same thing over and over. Stay inside if you can. This isn't a storm to drive through. New York City took the worst of it. This wasn't just a little street ponding, we're talking deep water. Stalled vehicles, entire blocks turned into small lakes. You can hear it in the reactions from people who live here, folks who've spent their whole lives in this city looking around and saying they've genuinely never seen anything like it.
A second. He is driving off. Bro, where are you going? What? Where do you think you're going? It's flooded up there too.
Let's start on the Long Island Expressway, one of the busiest roads in the region. Drivers found themselves boxed in by rising water with nowhere to go. What's normally a fast-moving highway turned into a standstill with vehicles sitting in water deep enough to shut the whole thing down. Down in lower Manhattan, the flooding hit hard around some of the busiest intersections in the city. Water pushed into underground walkways and subway entrances. Businesses had water rolling right through their doors, and commuters were left stranded, just waiting it out because there was nowhere dry to walk. Emergency teams were working around the clock trying to keep things under control as the water kept climbing.
অবস্থা দেখেন এই যে রাস্তা পুরো রাস্তা ডুবে আছে এই হলো অবস্থা দেখেন দেখার মতো কোনো ইয়া নাই পুরো রাস্তা ডুবা গাড়ি ভাসতেছে রাস্তায় এই হলো নিউ ইয়র্ক সিটির পরিস্থিতি লং আইল্যান্ড এক্সপ্রেসওয়ে
Midtown wasn't spared either. Some of the most commercial, high-traffic streets in the country became impossible to drive on. Add that to subway delays and rain-related slowdowns across the transit system, and you had thousands of people just trying to get to work or get home caught in the middle of it. Then there's the footage everyone's been talking about. People wading through what looks like white churning water in the streets. You hear someone joking about swimming home. Somebody else is filming a car trying to push through a flooded street, yelling at the driver to turn around because the road ahead is just as bad. It's the kind of moment that shows exactly how fast things went from heavy rain to genuinely dangerous. Queens saw some of the deepest water in the entire city, especially around Jamaica and Forest Hills. Streets disappeared underwater. It pushed into homes and businesses, cars were left abandoned in the middle of flooded roads, and rescue crews had to pull people out of vehicles that got stuck in rising water.
Oh my God! Oh, ayun, sira ang iyong ano.
Lasting. 1 hour rain. This is 1 hour rain. 1 hour rain.
Charger is out for the count. Charger is out for the count. Yeah, he's out. All right, who's next? Then you got this. Oh, man.
No way. No way. No way. No! Oh, no!
Brooklyn had it just as bad in spots like Crown Heights and Park Slope. Streets overflowed, traffic came to a complete stop, and small businesses were dealing with water coming right through their front doors. The drainage systems just couldn't keep up with how much rain was falling in such a short amount of time. You can hear it from people on the ground, pointing out that this was an hour's worth of rain, and just how wild it is that a street can go from normal to completely impassable that fast. Over in Soho and around Canal Street, the flooding turned busy shopping streets into obstacle courses. Water crept into stores, underground spaces filled up fast, and people were trying to pick their way around deep puddles just to get down the block safely. Near Penn Station, one of the busiest transit hubs in the country, flooding caused real headaches. Water made its way into underground areas, which only added to the delays for people trying to catch a train home.
Very bad condition. Weather very bad.
I thought the flash flood warning was... Oh, look at this. In the streets of Queens is crazy. Bro. This is crazy. Look. It's never been this...
Oh my God, this is crazy. I'm gonna go there. I have to go to the other side.
Aquí estamos en Maspeth, Queens. Wow. Ese carro sí que se quedó inundado. Esto está aquí en Morris Park. Mierda.
Staten Island had its own share of trouble too, with flooded roads and rough driving conditions popping up across several neighborhoods, along with some infrastructure damage that limited how easily people could get around. The Bronx got hit with heavy rainfall that overwhelmed local drainage systems, flooding streets and slowing down traffic. Emergency crews kept a close eye on things as the flooding spread into more neighborhoods throughout the day. And it wasn't just city streets. Major highways took a beating too. The Long Island Expressway, the Clearview Expressway, and the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway all saw serious flooding, trapping drivers and forcing rescue teams to pull people out of cars that got stuck in rising water.
I've never seen nothing like this in my entire life. New York flooded.
There's even a moment where you can hear people joking around after helping push a stalled car out of the water, calling it out for the count, laughing about who's going to help the next stranded driver. Even in the middle of a rough day, there's this sense of neighbors just helping each other out. By the time the storm moved on, the damage was clear. Flights were delayed across the region's airports. Subway stations and platforms flooded, disrupting service for a huge number of riders. Power was knocked out in different pockets of the city, and getting around became a real challenge for millions of people. It was a stark reminder of just how fast a heavy storm can turn everyday city life upside down, and how quickly New Yorkers pull together when it does.